losers, I'm Coral. Welcome back to my channel. I'm here today with some books that I would like to recommend, first of all, for when it gets colder outside, and second of all, I'm here with some books that I would like to read that hopefully also embody those vibes. We're talking fucking cold, we're talking like frozen, we're talking isolated spaces. Maybe you can't get out of this space. That's like my favorite shit, right? So I've got 3 books here that I'm trying to read. This will be December, January, February. I'm hoping to do a thing like I did this summer where if anyone would like to read along with me, and then at the end of the month, we can have like a spoiler-full discussion of like the summary of the book and my thoughts, and also your thoughts if you read it. So that's why I'm doing this in November instead of December. So hopefully, you know, we'll have time. Everyone will have time if they want to participate to get a copy, rent a copy, borrow a copy, stuff like that. So first though, I would like to talk about the books I would recommend for this time of the year if you're looking for something that is spooky and cold. First is Hark, the Herald Angels Scream, which is an anthology edited by Christopher Golden. This, like, I don't talk about short story collections a ton, like after I read them, because most of the time I don't love them. But this one was really, like, there were a lot of really good stories in this one. I wonder if I started in the recent years highlighting them. Oh, I didn't do that in this one. But I remember, okay, I remember liking Not Just for Christmas by Sarah Lotz. I remember liking Tenants by Josh Malerman. Who is there? I know there are more, but I can't remember. Snake's Tale by Sarah Langan. The Yankee Swap by John McIlvin. I'm sure there were more in there that I liked, because I remember liking like a lot of them, like being like, oh, this is like a good collection. So these are all like Christmas, holiday, wintertime themed stories. So it's perfect to get you in the winter holiday spirit. My next recommendation is No Exit by Taylor Adams. This is a thriller that takes place at a truck stop. I think this is a college student driving home to visit her mother, who is really, I believe she's dying. She's very sick. And she gets like stuck at this truck stop because there's a storm rolling in, and she's stuck there with a couple other people. And at one point she goes out to the parking lot to her car, and she sees a vehicle with a young girl like in the back. And if I'm remembering right, she is somehow, I don't remember if there is like some sort of cage in there or if she is just like strapped in somehow. Not strapped in, but what's the word I'm looking for? She is tied down somehow, something like that. But obviously this rings alarm bells. And so this young woman is trying to figure out like who this could be. And she thinks that they have found out that someone has seen something back there, right? So she's also like worried for her own safety. And this was really a really quick read, and they're stuck in a truck stop during a snowstorm. So isolated spaces, cold weather. Next, oh, I'm so excited to tell you about The Boys in the Valley by Philip Fracassi. This, oh my god, I read this in July, I think, and this is definitely going to be one of my favorites of the year. This is about a religious Catholic orphanage. So the boys in it obviously are orphans, and it's looked over by like a priest and some brothers. I don't know what they would be called. I was never Catholic, but it's Catholic church stuff. One night, there are some strangers at the door, and 2 of these boys overhear this situation. There is one man who is really in bad shape. He's wounded, and the men like beg the priest to like let them bring him up and help tend to his wounds. There's like nowhere else for them to go. This was the nearest area with people, and so they take him up, and the man soon dies. But the boys overhear something really spooky, and slowly some of the boys in the orphanage start acting really out of character for themselves, and they think it ties into this man who arrived. And oh my god, this is just Philip Fracassi. I think I need to read like maybe like one more of his books before I say this, but I think he like could be a favorite author. He just really, oh my god, I just keep saying really, but his books are really impactful. He has a really, oh my god, I just keep saying it. His characterization is great. He writes these excellent characters who feel like well fleshed out humans, and this book in particular was just, so fucking good. And that takes place in the winter, and there's some isolation going on. They're not, they're in the middle of farmland and stuff like that, so they don't have easy access to the outside world. I should include that as to like why that's on this list. It's not just a great book. Okay, and then also I'd like to recommend I'm Thinking of Ending Things by Iain Reid. This also takes place in the winter, and this is a really strange story. I'm not really sure exactly how to describe this, but the main plot in this is this woman is taking a car ride with her boyfriend to meet, I believe it's her boyfriend's parents. And it's in the winter. It takes place in the winter, so it's like a long winter car ride. And I think like some of us know how like claustrophobic those can feel when it's snowing and you're in the car for a long period of time. And she wants to break up with her boyfriend, so this is just like a really tense situation. And I think that's all I can say about it, but this is so short. It is really strange, and the end is wild. And then The Ascent by Ronald Malfi. This is a really great, like, kind of adventure horror type of book. It's about this group of friends. They used to, at one point, do this stuff often. Now it's been a while, if I'm remembering right, it's been a while, and they're coming together to do it again. At one point recently, one of the friends like almost dies doing some cave stuff on his own, and so he's like a little bit nervous about doing this, and there's this other character who's like really pushing everyone to do this thing, and he's acting a little bit strangely. And while they're on this little expedition, like their supplies start to go missing and things like that. So it becomes dire very quickly. And of course, we're in the mountains here. It's cold. It's survival horror, really. And I really liked this one. This is great. And it's Ronald Malfi. He's one of my favorite authors. I don't think that this is like my most favorite of Malfi's, but it's really an excellent one, and one that is like perfect for winter. And now on to the 3 books I would like to read. Let's see, it'll be December, January, and February, the Northern Hemisphere winter months. Let's see, first in December, I would like to read The Ritual by Adam Nevill. This, I don't know for sure if it takes place during the winter months, but they are hiking, this group of friends are hiking in the Arctic Circle. So I figure like it's gotta be cold, right? I'm hoping, I guess we'll see. And this is like a survival horror-y thing. They stumble across these strange artifacts in like an abandoned house in the middle of these woods, and then strange things start to happen as they're hiking. This is another story of like a group of friends getting back together after a period of time of not seeing each other, like the descent, like the ascent, and maybe also like the ritual. I guess we'll see. So I've been meaning to read this for a while. It's been on my shelf for a long time. I recently read one of Adam Neville's other books and I was like, man, I really, like, it's been a while. I forgot how incredible his writing is and I would like to read more of his shit. Then in January, I'm going to pick up All the White Spaces by Ali Wilkes. This is about an Antarctic expedition in the 1920s that goes awry. I believe that there is a trans character in here and it's like this person can't live as themselves in normal society, but they were a stowaway and now like they are secretly living as the gender that they prefer. And so it gives them like this freedom, but also they're like stuck in the Antarctic. So I'm excited about this aspect of it. And also I believe this was compared to The Thing when this first came out, and that is probably my #1 favorite horror movie. And I'm just really, I'm really looking forward to this. I hope my expectations aren't too high. I don't really remember hearing much about this like after it came out, so we'll see. We'll see how it is. I know that this author has another like cold horror book coming out this year, so I'll have to read 100 books really quickly so that I can purchase that. Hopefully I'll be done by next winter. I feel like I will. I guess we'll see. I don't know. Anyway, then in February, I'd like to read Dead of Winter by Darcy Coates. I believe this is her most recent work, but she is quite prolific, so it could very well be that she has come out with something since then. But I've never read her books before, and I've got 3 of them now. And I picked this one up specifically because it was winter horror, but this came out in the summer, I believe. So that's kind of interesting. Anyway, this is about a tour, who are like a tour of group of people who are hiking in the Rocky Mountains, and a storm hits and they have to take shelter in this cabin where nobody lives, I guess. And at one point the tour guide goes missing and then is found dead, and they know that it had to have been like one of the people among them. So like a real locked door kind of story, which I love, and spooky winter. So if you'd like to read The Ritual in December with me, or All the White Spaces in January with me, or Dead of Winter in February with me, I would love to know if you're interested in joining in with me. I'd also love to know if you have any winter horror recommendations, books that I can pick up for next year maybe. Also, if you read any of these and what you thought. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys later. Goodbye.